feeling is it for you now after this bigger tour with the full set of Ultravox, now going back to the smaller places?
It's easy to do. It's not psychologically. It's not any different from playing with a full band or larger venues or in front of more people. It's all about performing, so it doesn't really matter. It's a smaller place. The acoustic thing, acoustic shows only really work in smaller venues. In fact, this venue tonight is probably more suited to doing the acoustic shows than some of the ones that I've done so far, which tend to be kind of rock clubs where the audience are standing. Sometimes it's better in the acoustic shows that the audience is sitting and listening to what's going on. As soon as you get a rock club where there's people standing, they start to talk, the people at the back get bored, and ask for drinks, and there's noise and clatter, and that can be off-putting for people.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem adapting and doing something different.
Okay. Because of the change of the sets, like doing an acoustic set now compared to a full band set, and compared to the Ultravox live gigs, do you see any difference in the audience? Like, did you see new people or younger people going to the gigs? Or
I noticed that with the Ultravox shows, it was a much more mixed audience. There seemed to be an interesting selection of younger people going to the shows. Now, I think that's because young people discover music not by the radio, because we don't get played on the radio very often. So they don't discover music on the radio. They hear the same thing over and over and over again on the radio. Young people tend to find things on the internet and share it with their friends. So there's an entire audience that's kind of appeared to see the Ultravox shows, who maybe a couple of years ago had never heard of Ultravox, didn't know anything about Ultravox, but because someone has sent them a link to a video or a live performance or whatever, they've discovered the band. And that's a great way for music to spread, for people to talk about it and discover it. Because radio is the same all over. Radio plays the same 20 songs over and over and over. They have them on rotation. And it's not a great way to get interesting music across to people. So yeah, there is a difference there, but there's still the hardcore fans come to both. You know, they see faces who were at the Ultravox shows, who've been at the shows the last few nights.
And did you see young people in the last few nights? Or I mean, really, like 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds?
Yeah, I've seen some. Now, whether that's people who've already discovered Ultravox and now are coming to see the acoustic thing, because I think they're very different. I think the shows are very different. There's a relaxed intimacy about just like sitting here in the dark, you know. There's a relaxed, intimate thing about performing in places this size, whereas the Ultravox shows are, you know, bang, 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 no chatting, no talking, get the music and get as much music across as possible. So I think maybe if there is a crossover, people coming to see this for the first time will see quite a difference from the Ultravox shows.
So was it a thought of you not to talk at the Ultravox gigs, because many people missed it?
Well, there wasn't much time to do it, and it's not kind of right, because it's not my show. It's not me just having a chat while the other three stand about waiting for me to finish talking. It's not that kind of thing. And it's always been like that with the Ultravox shows. The Ultravox shows are about getting up there and playing the music. Most of the shows we did on the Brilliant tour were over 2 hours long. And we wanted to get as much music in there as possible, and still we had people complaining that we didn't play their favourite tunes, so we couldn't fit everything in, you know. So, you know, I think the idea of coming up to do something like this and having a chat, talking, and, you know, whatever, is totally different from the Ultravox shows. So the Ultravox shows are all about the music and the performance and the atmosphere that's created, and this is more about, you know, just the character.
It's a nice completion, isn't it?
It's kind of.
I think so. I think it's good to do both. I remember seeing Elvis Costello touring in America, and he had toured to promote his new album. He toured before that. I know how expensive that is. I mean, if I started to tell you how expensive the Ultravox shows were, it's hideous. I know how expensive that is. So he toured with a band, and the moment the tour finished, he went back out again with him and an acoustic guitar player, and played smaller venues in the same cities he had just played. You know, because then one helps pay for the other. So it's a kind of balance thing. And I thought that's a really good idea. It's a really smart idea. That, you know, you do one to promote the record, and you do another to help finance the tour. Because there is no such thing anymore as record company tour advances, or even record company recording advances. Really. You know, it's a different world. So you have to make it work on a musical level, an emotional level, and a financial level. Otherwise, you'd be bankrupt at the end of a tour if you couldn't figure out a way of making it all work.
Do you personally miss some kind of situation, you know, interacting with the guys on stage or in a chat before shows, something like that, compared to, you know, just being on your own and being right exposed?
Well, there's moments, and I'm sure we all have them. There's moments where you like both. You know, you like being with other people, and there's other times when you think, I just want to be alone. I just want to be on my own. And I'm quite good at being on my own. I spend an awful lot of time in hotel rooms and travelling and sitting on planes and all of that stuff. I don't like having a manager fussing over me. I don't like having someone who makes sure I'm in the right seat on the plane. It's all nonsense, you know, I'm not a kid, you know. So I quite enjoy the whole process. Like, we're going to Australia in April, and I'm going to go there a couple of days before the band turn up. This is a solo band turn up to do some press and interviews, and I'll travel on my own. You know, I'll be on the plane for 24 hours, you know, doing my thing, living in my little Midge world, you know, with my headphones on and my iPad, my book, and all of that. And I quite enjoy that. But I also enjoy the whole thing about going out with the band again, and, you know, hanging out with the guys, and you know, all of that. But there's again, it's a balance.
Was it with the last Ultravox tour? Was it a sort of feeling being 25 again or so because of that, being together with the guys?
I think mentally we all think we're 25 or younger. You know, it's only life that kicks in every so often, and you realise you're not 25 anymore. But yeah, there was an element of it. It's very different touring today with a band than it was, you know, 25 years ago. 25 years ago, it was all about partying and having fun and, you know, getting drunk and, you know, just having a ball because you had no responsibilities. Well, we all have responsibilities now, so that's completely changed. You know, now it's all about making sure the music's great, making sure the band performs well. You know, it's different. It's a different focus doing it. But that doesn't mean that you don't enjoy it. It's still a great thing to do. It's fun. I think if anything, we kind of felt that maybe the tour was maybe just a bit on the long side, because we hadn't done a tour for, it was 2 months.
It was about 6 or 7 weeks altogether.
Yeah, but then when we had rehearsals though before that as well, so we had a lot of stuff prior to doing that, and we'd been away a lot from home doing the album, recording the album. So for the last 2 years,